Elizabeth Warren did a town hall meeting last week, and she answered some questions about Israel-Palestine, and it was ugly. Now, usually 100% of the time when we mention Bernie Sanders or Alan Grayson or Elizabeth Warren, it's nothing but glowing praise because they seem to be spot on about pretty much everything. I'd go as far as to say over 90% of the time I agree with these guys, except on this issue. So Ryan Grimm and Zach Carter write, quote, "The Israeli military has the right to attack Palestinian hospitals and schools in self-defense if Hamas has put rocket launchers next to them," Elizabeth Warren said. So she defended her vote to send funds to Israel in the middle of its offensive in Gaza. And, quote, she also questioned whether to condition future U.S. funding for Israel on the halting of Israeli settlements in the West Bank. So, for those of you who don't know, that's one of the things that a lot of very moral and ethical people in the U.S. are concerned about. They say, look, if you're going to give like $3 billion a year to Israel, why not say you're only getting it if you stop building settlements in the West Bank? And apparently Elizabeth Warren, who is one of the most progressive politicians in the United States, she said, quote, "I think there's a question of whether we should go that far." First of all, I think we should cut off that aid anyway. They don't need it. They don't need it, okay? Even they tell us they don't need it. So why are we doing it? But she's saying not only should we continue to give the aid, but even if they continue to build settlements in the West Bank, well, we shouldn't cut off funding just because of that, should we? Yes, you should! Yes, you should, Elizabeth Warren! And here's the exact quote on civilian targets that she said. Quote, "But when Hamas puts its rocket launchers next to hospitals, next to schools, they're using their civilian population to protect their military assets. And I believe Israel has a right at that point to defend itself." Okay, so two things here. Number one, as Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks has rightly pointed out multiple times, the Hamas rockets at a hospital, singular, I use singular on purpose, were immediately turned over by humanitarian aids. So they said, oh, whoa, we found this. Let's turn it over to the UN. This is a problem. How dare Hamas do that? Here are the rockets from this one place, from this one hospital. So what did Israel do in response to that? Well, they used that and said, we're just going to assume from here on out that all the hospitals in Gaza and all the schools and anything we want to hit, basically, we're going to assume they all have Hamas rockets now. And then they proceeded to present no evidence and didn't even bother to try to present evidence. It was just the excuse that they used to hit these targets, where they said, yeah, nah, Hamas, something, rockets, whatever, evidence, shove it up your ass. It happened once and they turned it over in a different place, but we're just going to pretend like it's all these places. Shut up, we're just going to keep bombing. And the second point is, you just heard arguably the top progressive in the country argue in favor of bombing schools and hospitals in violation of the Geneva Conventions. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. No. But that's not debatable. See, that's the thing that drives me fucking crazy about having these conversations and having these discussions. We shouldn't fucking be having these conversations and these discussions because that's not a debatable topic. That's not a debatable topic. It's one you dismiss out of hand. How about this? In no situation is it okay to bomb UN shelters and hospitals and schools. Let's say even if the argument Israel used was correct, that there are some Hamas rockets there, we knew that there were also civilians there. The idea that anybody looks at a situation where it's a school or a hospital and there's civilians and rockets and they go, yeah, attack anyway, there are some rockets there. What about the civilians? No, you don't do that. No, you don't do that. We had a debate and a conversation in this country about whether or not it made sense to go and get Osama bin Laden on the ground. And we knew he was guilty of what he did. But now it's not even like, that's fucking minor league shit compared to this. This is not even a moral conundrum. It's a black and white issue. There are civilians there and maybe some rockets. Attack. Attack. No, don't attack. Don't attack. Again, it's not a debatable issue. In any other circumstance, can you imagine anybody, if they attacked a school or if they attacked hospitals, everybody across the board, imagine Iran did that. Terrorists! Unbelievable terrorists. They're heartless. They just attacked a school. And even if they said, well, there might have been some armament there from our enemies, but there were civilians there, you terrorists. If Iran did it, if anybody who we view as either an enemy or even somebody who we're just fucking agnostic on, right? Like, we just don't have an opinion on them. We're neutral about them. Just pick any random, I don't know, fucking Chad. If the country of Chad did it, oh my God, now they're terrorists. But if it's our ally, shh. And Elizabeth Warren, a progressive, saying, yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Attack, because maybe not. There were rockets there, whatever. I support Israel no matter what the fuck they do. Jesus, man, it's so disheartening because when you read about shit like this, you go, oh, I get it. People are just picking a fucking side and defending it at all costs. Stop being toddlers. Can you use your fucking brain? Can you use your brain? Nobody's all right and all wrong. There are always shades of gray and nuance and complexities. Elizabeth, you can agree with Israel by and large. Okay, I disagree with you, right? I believe in a two-state solution. I believe 1947 borders, 50-50 split up of the land, UN statehood recognition in both cases. So I disagree with you, right? But you can defend Israel and, believe in the 67 borders or whatever, have a different opinion than me, but still admit that you shouldn't hit fucking schools and hospitals. But no, now all of a sudden everything is debatable. If it's our ally, everything is debatable. Sure, sometimes you should attack a school or a hospital. Never, 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 never. I can't believe I have to say this in the year 2014. There's no moral conundrum here. There's no open question. And, some people have said to me, well, maybe a few of them are not real. Maybe they were fake or whatever. Okay, but we're talking about, even if that's true, which I don't believe it, because no credible sources have said, have retracted those articles, right? But even if that were true, we're talking about multiple hospitals that were hit, multiple schools that were hit, kids on a beach that were hit while they're playing fucking soccer, an 80% civilian death rate, 500 plus children that were killed. No, there's no conversation to be had. There's no conversation to be had. Just don't do it. When even our best progressives have moral compass issues, I'm scared for the future of the country, man. I'm scared for the future of the country. And I get it. Look, it's still true that Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Alan Grayson, they're still right on over 90% of the issues, and I will always give them credit on those things. And if it comes down to voting for Elizabeth Warren or Alan Grayson or Bernie Sanders or some more corporatist center-right Democrat, of course I'm going to vote for these guys. But it's still disheartening that there appears to be nobody that is willing to be totally objective and rational on all the issues. That should concern us all.